Days of Fright Horror Movie Project, Year 4.
Welcome to the Two-Ton Nerds. As always, my name is Max James. It's October 12th, 2015, which means it's day 12 of the 31 Days of Fright Horror Movie Project, Year 4. And the movie for today is the first sequel in the Hellraiser films, Hellbound Hellraiser 2. Now, I kind of broke a rule. I decided to watch a trailer before I watched this movie, and which got me even more pumped up for this movie, and that's why I chose to watch it. And because I originally intended it to be a little later in the week, but after watching the trailer, I moved it up, and I wasn't sad about doing that because I enjoyed this movie a lot. But there is a downside to this movie. This movie is a tad bit confusing because they just leave stuff out, exposition-wise. They just don't explain things enough. Because the first half hour or so is really well explained. It does a very good job of recapping the first movie. If you've not seen the first movie, it explains the two main plot lines of the movie. You got Kirsty, she's back. She is wanting to save her father's soul, so she's wanting to get her hands on a puzzle box so she can go into hell and save her father. And you got the B plot, which is the doctor who kind of like gets wind of Kirsty's story and decides, hey, he's been researching this as well. So he's kind of like, all right, understand, kind of, because she was telling how Frank was revived, and then through dialogue you kind of hear like, hey, the mattress is where Julia died in the first movie is still in the house, and so somehow it gets brought to the doctor, and he ends up killing a inmate on it, basically killing it because he hands him a knife, and he ends up cutting himself up and bleeding all over the mattress because he thinks there's maggots and stuff all over his skin. And which ensue and thus bringing Julia back to life. Same character, same actress as well. So, and her main plot is to get her skin back and take over hell. And so they travel into hell, as well as Christy travels into hell. And they eventually their storylines kind of interconnect. And that's so far that is very what's it called? Understandable. I understand everything that's going on in the film so far, but there's one key moment where it kind of stops being comprehensible a little bit, is when the doctor and Julia are kind of walking along this giant labyrinth, and you see this giant Leviathan thing in the middle of the spinning. It looks like a giant TV remote, basically. If you ever seen The Watchmen, it looks like that remote at the end of the movie, the one that Ozymandias has controlling all the TV. That's what it looks like. It's just like it's a giant triangle. That's what it looks like. So she tricks him into this human-sized puzzle box of himself, where they kind of make Cinna Bites, and that the doctor ends up turning into a Cinna Bite, and he ends up being super powerful. And there's the particular moment I'm talking about where it kind of stops being kind of like, what? From like, all right, I know what's going on, to like, what? Is when he gets out of the box. Obviously, he's a Cinna Bite, which is pretty cool. But this giant thing attaches to him. And he doesn't walk throughout the rest of the movie no more. He's just kind of being carried. And he has some great powers. And so it doesn't explain who's doing it and who's in charge. It's just like, what? All right. Huh? So Kirsty is doing her plot, and Julia's running off doing her thing, and they finally interconnect while meeting Frank. But because father is no longer there, or he's in a different part of hell, and so Frank is the one that lured Kirsty in there, and so there's another player in this movie, a little girl. Her name is Tiffany. She's mute, but she's very good at puzzles. And then you kind of see pieces of her life, and I think the doctor killed her mom, and operated on her, and that's why she's mute and very good at puzzles. And it's like, things are just being left out. Exposition, dialogue, things aren't just being explained very well. But it doesn't take away from the movie. It does in a way, but the visuals on the screen keeps you interested. So the gore and the special effects are amazing, especially when Julie is brought back to life for the first time, her skinless corpse, and she's just like, that is just whoa. I mean, that because I had a coyote kind of howling outside my window out in the field, and it kind of like added to the ambiance to the scene. It's just like if you're watching a movie that's taking place during a thunderstorm while watching a movie during the thunderstorm, and the thunder and lightning kind of sync up for that brief moment, creating a really cool effect. That's kind of like that. So, but anyways, this movie was really good. I liked it. It was fun. It just tad bit confusing. Things needed to be explained a little bit more. We find out what the Cinna Bites are. We find out how Pinhead became Pinhead, or the priest. That's what Clive Barker likes to call him, but the fans call him Pinhead. So I like both names equally. I think I kind of like the priest a little bit better. It kind of fits him a little bit more. So this movie was confusing. The gore and the special effects, the set pieces were amazing. The world of hell looks dark and cobwebby. Just really great. The acting really good. Didn't turn me away. So it was overall good movie. So here's my rating scale. 1 is run-of-the-mill horror. 2, best watch with a group. 3, more than average horror, but adds nothing new to the horror genre. 4, helps move the horror genre forward. And 5, being a horror classic. And Hellraiser 2 is a 3. It's more than average because of the good special effects, but it does add nothing to the horror genre. It's just kind of like, it's just good. It's really all it is. It's not run-of-the-mill because it's not just your normal slasher flick, but it does have a good story if you figure whatever it is out, because I had to go online and read a detailed analysis of what was going on. So once I figured that out and kind of rethinked about the whole movie, I'm like, all right, that makes totally sense. And so anyways, that's really all I gotta say. I do recommend this movie. It was fun watching it. I had it's a good Halloween movie to watch early in the month, not too close to the Halloween season, because it doesn't really have that Halloween feel to it, but it is a good movie to watch in the Halloween season. So, as always, my name is Max James, and I'm going to go geek out.